If you're feeling stuck or you've plateaued in your business or career, then you might have asked yourself the question, can you really become a new version of you? Well, in this video, I'm going to go into the exact 3 areas that you need to focus on to do just that. These are the 3 core principles that I teach all of my private clients who are generally 6 or 7-figure professionals. They're entrepreneurs, business owners, they're C-suite, they're directors of companies. I've also worked with journalists and producers and, that kind of a person. And what this work does is it helps them to not only increase the success that they have, but they also get to feel successful and fulfilled as they do that. Now, I'm going to lay every single piece of this puzzle out for you so you stop asking that question about can you become a new you and know to your core that you can. But step 3 is where most people turn around. Yeah. So stick around for that because you're not going to want to miss it. Okay, number 1 of these core principles is identity shifting. Like if you've been around the manifestation world in recent months, years, you will have seen an awful lot of people talking about identity, talking about how to manifest the life that you want. You need to step into the identity of the person that has it. But that's not as easy as it appears, right? So the first thing that you really need to do is to know the identity of the person that you are currently being. Like what forms that identity? What makes you, you? Now, what often forms the identities that we have are the labels that we have been brought up with. Yeah, the labels of being black, of being female, of being male, of being rich, of coming from a successful line of people. Yeah. And you see it all the time, right? There's whole families of doctors. There's whole families of lawyers. Mummy's a surgeon, daddy's a family doctor. And you're just brought up to believe that that is who you are too, yeah? So you just go through life with that identity in mind. So you take all the courses that lead to that result of that identity. But what happens if that isn't you? What happens is that generally you grow up and you feel really dissatisfied because you are living somebody else's life. You're not being true to you. Yeah? Everybody is on their own path. And just because mummy did it, just because daddy did it, it doesn't mean that you get to do it too, or you have to do it too. Yeah. So what makes you you? Why have you chosen all of the things that you've chosen to do? Why have you made all the decisions that you have made? Yeah. And when we can really go down into that, for an awful lot of people, they realize that they were controlled by other people's expectations, expectations of the life that they should be living, right? Like the reason that they've got the car, the reason that they've got the mansion, the reason that they've got the house or the apartment is because other people thought that that was a measure of their success. And they wanted to please other people because that's, like a fundamental part of being human is pleasing people. It just is, yeah. Like as a baby, you always want to please your parents, yeah. And that goes back to, living in like caveman times where if you weren't acceptable to the tribe, then you were kicked out and that meant certain death, yeah. So like to a certain extent, this identity of pleasing people is inbuilt, yeah. But as you grow up, you get to appreciate the fact that maybe I'm a person too, yeah? Maybe I need to satisfy me. Maybe I need to feel complete and whole just in myself, yeah? So who is that version of you? The version of you that is satisfied within your body, the version of you that is satisfied doing what you're doing. Yeah, it might have nothing to do with your parents or your upbringing or your schooling or society's expectations. And if you take this to the nth degree of who are you really, who are you to your core, then you go all the way to understanding that you're energy. Yeah, you are spirit having a human experience. If you're anywhere in the spirituality communities or the manifestation communities, you will have heard that before. But what does that mean? Well, what it means is that you're absolutely limitless. And the only limitations that we have on ourselves are the limitations that we place. So what creates those limitations? Well, that brings us into point B, right? Or point 2, which is our beliefs. So our identity and our limitations are all tied to our beliefs, yeah? Because our beliefs dictate our thoughts, and our thoughts dictate our feelings, and our feelings dictate our actions, which dictate our results, which then reinforce that belief again of who we are, yeah? So if you want a different identity, you get to choose different beliefs. You will never, ever become a new version of you having exactly the same beliefs as you have now. So if you just come back into your human, come back into your body and, like, not forget that you're a spiritual being having this human experience, but just focus on the little avatar of your human, then what does that human want to do? Yeah. Who does that human want to be? And then what beliefs does that little human have to adopt? What are like fundamental, non-negotiable beliefs that create that identity of that person that you want to be? Yeah. So a fundamental belief of somebody who is more successful than you might currently be is that success comes easily to them, whatever that success is to you. And that's the other thing, right? You get to decide your definitions. What does success mean to you? Yeah. What does it mean? Does it mean a bigger house? Or does it mean time freedom? Does it mean more money in the bank? Or does it mean having a really happy family? All of these things can be defined as being successful. Yeah. So what is your belief about success? Because once you can, unravel the beliefs that you've been brought up with, once you unravel all the beliefs that you've just adopted from other people, then you can create beliefs that actually serve the identity that you want to adopt. Yeah. So what beliefs do you need to adopt? If you want more money, then you have to have the belief that money comes easily to you. Yeah. If you want more, if you want a family that you don't currently have, then you have to believe that you are lovable and deserving of love. These are fundamental beliefs that an awful lot of people don't have. And so the identity that they want to step into isn't matching the beliefs that they hold. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? If your whole identity is created from your beliefs and your thoughts and your feelings and your actions and your results, then to have a new identity, you have to change the beliefs that you hold. So make a list, yeah? Make a list of the fundamental beliefs that you have, and know that all the beliefs that you have are just a decision that you keep making, yeah? Once you can change this belief that you can't change beliefs, yeah, I have had so many conversations with so many people that tell me, oh yeah, well, I can't do that because. Well, you can't do it because you believe that you can't do it, yeah? But you write the rules to your life. So if you change the belief to I can't do that to I can absolutely do that, then you will do that, yeah? So what beliefs do you need to change to become the new version of you? And then once you have that list of beliefs, that list of non-negotiable beliefs that this new identity of you holds, you'll be able to go and find evidence of it in the world. And you just have to keep reminding yourself. This is the way that we program this, the DMN, which is a whole region in your brain that is concerned with self-referential thought. Yeah. So when you start thinking of yourself in your like daydreamy state, so, the state where you're not really doing anything and you're just like, like I say, daydreaming, yeah? When you start doing that and you start, knowing that this is who I am now, that's how your brain becomes that new identity, yeah? That's how you step into that identity. You have to teach your DMN that this is who you are now. Your RAS is another region of your brain that literally goes and finds all the things that you have told it to is important to you. Yeah. So in your daydreamy state of this new identity, you will have certain things that you know to be true, and then your RAS will let through all those things that match those thoughts. Yeah. Now, I have numerous examples of where I've done this in my life. From, becoming the person that gets a distinction in an MBA, that was an identity that I stepped into. Yeah, of course I can do that. Becoming an award-winning business owner with my luxury cake design business, that was absolutely stepping into that identity. And I didn't even realize the mechanics of what I was doing back then, yeah? Like, I watched The Pursuit of Being Happiness, In Pursuit of Happiness, the movie with Will Smith. And it's based on a true story. It's an incredible movie, an incredible story. And one of the things that he did is he was told to work his way down this list or work his way up this list, one or the other. And, cold call all these people. And what Will Smith's character did was to just go to the top and decide, I'm not a person that works with the lowly people. I'm a person that works with the people at the top of the business, the top of the company, the top of the food chain of this whole list of people. And that's exactly what I did. That's how I got to work at the Ritz, because I decided that, okay, where do I want to work? Like, ultimately, who do I want to be a supplier to? Well, in my mind, one of the best hotels in the world was the Ritz Hotel in Mayfair, London. And so that was where I went. And that was my second call. Yeah, I went to a local hotel, first of all. And then I was like, yeah, this is fine. I got on their supplier list. And then I was like, okay, so what is my ultimate? Oh, my ultimate is working for the Ritz. Okay, let me go there. And that's what I did. I called them, I emailed them, I booked a meeting with them, and then I became one of 2 recommended suppliers to the Ritz Hotel in Mayfair. And that's how that business quantum leaped, because I stepped into the identity of the person that does that, right? That makes sense, yeah? So if I hadn't have believed that I could have been that person, I never would have taken those actions. Yes. So can you see how your beliefs and your identity are so closely linked? But it's all about who you believe to be true about you, and then being that. Yeah. And step 3 then is calming your nervous system so it doesn't freak out. And this is the bit that throws most people off, is that our bodies, if they are faced with something new, will generally go into a little bit of, what's this? Little bit of fear mode, yeah? Our amygdala gets activated and we go into that fight, flight, or freeze. We tense up a little bit. So to really grow, to really step into a new identity, we need to teach our body that it is safe to be that person. It is safe to think those thoughts, yeah? Because the brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not. So you can teach your brain through your imagination, through your repeated thoughts, how to live as the new identity, how to feel in that new identity. You get to just lean into your imagination so your body relaxes as you step into this new life. Yeah. If you believe that this new life is going to be dangerous, because change to the body, to the human psyche, is always dangerous. Yeah. But if you believe that it's going to be outside of like your realms of comfort, then your body is going to freak out and you're going to try to be stopped. Yeah. But when you know that that's going to happen, yeah, then you can go, you're doing what you were meant to be doing, right? You're trying to protect me. Excellent. Thank you so much. And then you can go, okay, so I'm feeling tension. And you just name it. Name it. I'm feeling resistance to this. And if you've ever worked with me, if you've ever seen any of my videos, then you'll know that I have a 7-step manifestation loop that I have observed in my own manifestations and in my clients that step 5 of that is resistance. Step 5 is the spot that your body will start freaking out a little bit and say, are you sure that you want to be doing this? Yeah, your thoughts will start freaking out a little bit. The outside world will start freaking out a little bit. Yeah, if you're like trying to manifest that next level of income, then the outside world will throw you like extra bills or cars breaking down or boilers breaking down, whatever it is, right? Your roof will blow off. And that's where you get to step into the identity that already has all of that sorted. Oh, well, that's no problem because I have the money to do that. Yeah. But unless you believe that you have the money, unless you really have the identity of that next level person, that next level wealth, then your brain and your body are just going to go, whoa there, oh my God, this isn't working, this isn't working. And then you go back to being the same old you. And you go back to being the same old you because that's who you have previously known yourself to be. And the brain is lazy. It likes being who you've always been. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily want to step into your new levels of wealth or success or happiness even. Yeah. So if you've never felt that you could be happy, your brain isn't going to want you to step into that because that's new. Even the new that is really good for you, your brain doesn't care about that. It really doesn't. It just wants to keep you safe. Brain is there to keep you safe and to prove you right. That's it. That's the 2 objectives of your human. Keep you safe and prove you right. And it proves you right about your beliefs. Yeah. And your beliefs create your identity. So if you want a new identity, you need to change your beliefs and you need to help your body to not freak out, to calm your nervous system, just taking deep breaths. Yeah. And like I say, just noticing the thoughts and then saying, thank you for protecting me, but I'm choosing this. All of your beliefs are just decisions that you have made over and over again. So to change your beliefs, to change your identity, you need to keep making different decisions. Yeah. And that's it. If you can master these 3 aspects of you, then you will become a new you. You know, like you've heard it all before, right? New year, new you. Well, we're in October right now. And I promise you that if you can decide who you are and who you want to be, notice the difference between those 2, adopt the beliefs of the identity that you choose to be, calm your nervous systems that allows you to actually step into that, then by the new year, you will be unrecognizable. You will be. Because you'll be acting differently, you'll be behaving differently, you'll be getting different intuitive nudges that will lead to different actions, right? So that's it. Like I say, that's it in a nutshell. So thank you for liking and commenting and sharing. And if you have any questions, then please put them in the comments and I promise to respond to them. And obviously, if you want help to do this, the link is in the description to get on a call with me. I would love to work with you and help you with that. You're going to find another video back there. And just know that you're ready. You're ready to step into the life that you want to be living. And this is where it begins. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.